Juan Soto quietly putting together arguably his career year, and a lot of people wanted to write Soto off, and look what he's doing. On pace for the most homers in a season of his career. There's a chance he has the most RBIs in a season in his career, and he already has the most stolen bases in his career with 26. This is a guy who is going to put together a 40 plus, 30 plus season. He's going to have over 30 stolen bases. He's going to have over 40 home runs. He's going to have over 100 RBIs. The critics will say, look at his average. He's only hitting 257. The reality is, average is not the stat that he used to be. His on base is still close to his career, which is 418. It's at 397. Yes, his average at 257 is, the second lowest it's been in his career. 2022 was his worst average year, where he had 27 and 62 over 153 games. He's got 36 and 90 over 136. He's going to finish with incredible numbers. More importantly, he's doing it in the crunch time, in the clutch. Monday, carrying them with the grand slam, his first grand slam in a Mets uniform, and his first homer with more than one guy on base. He had not hit a 3-run homer all year. So a huge grand slam, a huge 2-run triple, a 6 RBI day, 2 walks to go along with it. Juan Soto's doing what you paid him for, and everyone wants to say he's not worth the money. You'll hate that contract. But the reality is this: if he wins one World Series, he lives up to that contract. And if the Mets can find a way to win a World Series this year, and year 1 of 15, they're World Series champions, it's going to look like a genius contract. And we know he's a winner. He's won 2 pennants already in his career. He's won a World Series with the Washington Nationals. He looks pretty damn good. And in the clutch, runner scoring position since July 31st, hitting 400 plus. He's doing it in big spots, and I think we waited for that, and that grand slam might have been the Soto moment. He had the game-tying 2-run homer the other day versus the Marlins in a brutal, disappointing series loss that we won't even discuss because it's old news. We didn't do a show on Labor Day. We were enjoying the holiday outside last day of the pool, enjoying the weather. We're back today, but Soto is really back, and I think it's a good sign. The Mets went out there on the road in Detroit and beat the best team in the American League. Most wins of the American League, 80 wins, the Detroit Tigers. And Soto's a big part of that. Sean Manaea was not. Manaea was terrible again. And again, I will say it over and over. He's a 3-inning pitcher right now. You saw when he walked off the mound, he's hurt. He's got the bone chips in an elbow. He's nowhere near 100%. So they need to adjust here. And you're going to, I think, see adjustments in September, October with these guys who can't get through the 4th and 5th inning, that you just cut them off after 3 and call it a day and go to a piggyback. But, man, it is fun to watch Soto in his element and watch him shine, because we've been waiting for those Soto Met moments. He kind of had 2. If they went and won that game that they came back 8-2 to tie it, you're thinking to yourself, this could be the moment. This could be it. So now we'll see what happens next. Jonah Tong on Friday thought he was good. Clearly I was nervous, but 1 earned run. I know he gave up 4, but some shoddy defense behind him. 1 earned run, 6 Ks, got through 5. I thought it was a good start. Looking forward to seeing him again. He's going to definitely make another start and see if he gets the nerves out of him. Likely on the road his next start will be. So you get McClain today against the Tigers. Tonight you got Tong probably again coming up. Probably the 3rd game in Detroit, right? On Wednesday. Maybe Thursday, or Friday, because they're off Thursday, so we'll see. You're watching Mets Daily. Hit that thumbs up on this video. Subscribe to the channel. I'm Jake Brown, at Jake Brown Live. Hit that follow button for me here. Become Mets Daily Insider, just $5 a month. Nathaniel, our Mets Daily Insider, cannot make it, so we will choose someone else for the 2 tickets. I'll announce that tomorrow, but just know Nathaniel can't. So someone else, Nathaniel and Mary, both can't make that September 18th game. So we go to the next member and see if someone will take these 2 tickets. If not, I'll give them away on Twitter for Mets Padres on the 18th. So appreciate your support. To be honest, guys, I'm a little bit down today. If you can't hear my voice, one of my main gigs, my NHL gig, is over. I was told that today. So no more of that. So that was kind of a big financial piece that was kind of carrying me financially. That is out the window. So now we're back to square one as we've hit the year away, the year anniversary of being laid off a couple days ago. We've hit the year mark of leaving New York. It was really yesterday. Today was the 1 year since I left New York, And on the year anniversary, I hear that NHL gigs no more. So I'm not in the best spirits today, but the show must go on here on Mets Daily. So I appreciate your support. Hit that thumbs up and comment on the video. It is the month of September, so there are September call-ups. Luis Angel Acuna is back, and I think that's the right move. This is a guy that needs to be on a roster in September. I think what he can do defensively and on the base pass makes the Mets dynamic. You saw the other day when he came in and was, pinch runner and score. Like when he's on the bases, he's almost unstoppable, and the Mets need that. They don't really have that with Tyrone Taylor, who's battling an injury, by the way. It looks like that's not the move. The move is Jared Young is up. He is back with the team. Waddell is down. So you're thinking to yourself, how does that work? You've sent down a pitcher, call up a hitter. You're allowed to do that. We'll see if Taylor ends up in the IL. You're still, remember, waiting Siri and Winker to come back. Alvarez did catch with that pinky injury, so Alvarez is powering through. So maybe in a week we see Alvarez. We might see Siri, Winker, Alvarez all back on this team. So some reinforcements are coming, but for now it's Jared Young back up. And listen, Jared Young's been tearing the cover off the ball in AAA, so I don't think he's really going to play at all. I don't really know. But you might have him, pinch hit for Hayden Sanger or Luis Torrens. I think that could be his role. Maybe if they bring, a righty in, he pinch hits. I don't know. I don't know what his role is going to be exactly. But the reality is he's doing a good job in AAA. And he's not a name we really wanted to hear much. But the guy this season in AAA is 16 homers, 48 RBIs, and on base of 401, average of 308. So if he could translate any of that success to the majors, the Mets would be in pretty good hands. 15 homers, 46 RBIs in AAA with that 394 on base in 66 games. So he's done well in Syracuse. Waddell, is king of coming up and down, up and down. I think Acuna should be here to stay, but maybe when Siri's back, they say goodbye to him. The Ronnie Mauricio thing is a mystery. Why is he on this roster? I'm team Ronnie Mauricio, but he does not start once. He doesn't start, period. Why is he on the team? Backup infielder. You have that now with Acuna. Is it worth even keeping Ronnie around? I don't know. Probably not, to be honest. So that remains a mystery to me. I think they've kind of stunted his development a little bit with a guy that missed a year in the minors, missed a year of baseball. So I don't know what's going on with the Ronnie Mauricio situation. I assume with Siri Winker back, he's definitely going, and maybe Taylor goes. But we'll see. But for now, it's Acuna, Hageman up, Jared Young up, Waddell down. So those are the two September Mets call-ups for now. Another guy that didn't get called up that can still be eligible for the postseason roster. There was tweets and people putting out there that he's not eligible now. How could you do this? He is still eligible for the postseason roster. Some people just put stuff up without knowing if it's true or not. Brandon Sproat. Brandon Sproat just put together 7 innings of shutout ball, 3 hits, 9 strikeouts, and he's still not here. And you're wondering, is Sproat going to get a shot? With Sean Manaea struggling, with Kodai Senga struggling, and I think Kodai Senga, it's pretty clear the Mets are going to do something different with him. Whether they have an opener, whether they skip his next start, whether they put him in the bullpen. The way Carlos Mendoza spoke about the game where he said, we're not sure what's next for Kodai, tells you he's not making his next start. And either they skip it or I don't know, or phantom IL trip, or he's actually hurt. We'll find out soon about Kodai Senga, but something's happening there. And that's where you think Brandon Sproat has a real opportunity to fill right in. He just started on the 30th. Today's the 2nd, so 31st, 1st, 2nd. On Friday or Saturday, sometime this weekend, I feel like Sproat is coming. Mets have that off day Thursday. You feel like now seems to be the time. If you are going to move, skip a Senga start, you got Cincinnati this weekend. Now, that's tough. That's a team you're fighting off of the wild card. Those are direct head-to-head games where you could gain or lose ground. You're 4 up on Cincinnati, and then that big 4-game series against the Phillies. So Mets are going to have to make a big decision, but I think it wouldn't hurt to call Sproat up here or have Sproat and McGill piggyback each other in a game. McGill on his way, too. You got Sproat and McGill coming. What's going to happen with Senga? We'll see. So a lot of decisions to be made, a lot of potential additions to this roster. The Mets did add at the waiver. They didn't have Walker Buehler. They didn't go add Carlos Santana. Some other teams in their competition did, like the Phillies and Cubs. So we'll see if that pays off for them. And we'll see if these guys coming back from injuries can pay off for the Mets. I'm Jake Brown, at Jake Brown Live. Follow me on TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, Twitter. Check out my interview with Julian Edelman on my YouTube. Become a Mets Daily Insider, just $5 a month by scanning that code. Let's go Mets. Noel McLean back on the hill tonight. Looking forward to seeing it. Thanks for watching Mets Daily, everybody. We'll talk to you tomorrow. Peace.